This is an iHeart podcast.
Welcome in, everyone, to Lively Lewis Stories.
That's right. We're back with even more awesome adventures with Levi and Ivy.
Set your storytime meter to fun and get ready to join the Lively Lewis crew.
All you need is your imagination and...
Off we go! I can't wait to see where our story takes us today.
Have you ever wanted to get more Lively Lewis in your life?
Well, we've got you covered.
Grab an adult and zoom over to livelylewisshop.com.
Or just click on the link in our show notes.
Enough about that. Let's get to today's super Lively Lewis story.
Streamers and balloons decorated the house as Ivy's friends and family celebrated her birthday. There was cake and candy and fun party games. Everything Ivy could have wanted. Well, almost everything. Mom, this party is absolutely amazing, exclaimed Ivy. Thank you and Dad so much for everything. You're welcome, birthday girl, said Ivy's mom, giving her daughter a big hug. I'm just so sorry the new American Girl doll you wanted wasn't available at the store anymore. They said they'd get it in soon, and when it arrives, she's all yours. Ivy smiled on the outside, but a little piece of her, just a teeny tiny piece, was a little upset. She really wanted to celebrate her birthday with her new American Girl doll and was sad when her parents told her that it would be just a few more days before she could have it. And there was one other little thing that Ivy wished was different about her birthday. She wished that her cousin Stella could be there. Stella wanted to be there, but she had a gymnastics tournament on the same day and wasn't able to make it. She was really sad to miss Ivy's party and told her cousin she would make it up to her very soon. I hope Stella's tournament is going well, said Ivy as she bopped a balloon across the living room to one of her friends. I really do miss her, but I'll see her soon. Wow, Ivy, you're being such a big girl right now, said her mom. You could have let Stella and your new doll not being here really upset you and take away from your special day. But instead, you understand that everything will work out and you're enjoying your big day with everyone and everything that is here. Ivy smiled at her mom as she headed off to the kitchen to get some more cupcakes. But as her mom turned to leave, Ivy's big smile turned into a little frown. But I'm still just a little kid, and I am sad that Stella and my new doll are missing from my party, whispered Ivy to herself. But she only felt that way for a moment before a friend ran over and invited her to bounce in the giant unicorn bounce house in her backyard. Ivy took a deep breath, snapped back into party mode, and off she ran to have fun with her friends and family who were at the party. And she had a great time. Once in the bounce house, Ivy ran into, or should I say bounced into, her brother Levi. Wow, this party's incredible, Ivy, shouted Levi as he jumped all around her. I ate 4 cupcakes already. Don't tell Mom. Don't worry, I won't, replied Ivy as she did a backflip. Are you having fun? Asked Levi. The best time, and it's only getting better because we're about to open presents, said Ivy as she high-fived her friends. You're gonna love what I got you, her friend said as she bounced up and down. I got you something to wear that I have too, so we can wear it to school and we can be twinsies, said another friend. Levi was too busy trying to break his highest bounce record to hear what Ivy and her friends were talking about, which was too bad for him. Because if he had heard them talking about presents, he maybe could have had time to put something together for Ivy. You see, Levi had forgotten to get his sister a birthday gift and would soon find out that what he thought was no big deal kind of made him feel like a bad big brother. Ivy, it's present time, called her dad from just outside the bounce house. Ivy screamed with excitement and she and her friends hopped out and ran toward a big pile of presents that were sitting on a picnic table in their backyard. Levi kept bouncing until his dad climbed into the bounce house to get him out. As he stumbled around trying to keep his balance, Levi bounced higher and higher. Levi! Shouted his dad as his son's bouncing made him lose his balance and tip over. Can you please stop and come with me? Ivy's opening our presents now. Presents? Thought Levi as he flopped on the bounce house floor. I forgot to get Ivy a present! The look on Levi's face changed from happy, bouncing excitement to a look of total panic. Ivy was already tearing through wrapping paper and looking through gift bags, so Levi knew he had no time to get her a present. He hopped out of the bounce house after helping his dad get up and watched from a distance as Ivy laughed and talked with her friends and family while she opened her gifts. She thanked them and held up the lovely things that they had given her. She looked so happy. That's when Levi thought that maybe she wouldn't even notice that she didn't open a gift from him. Maybe she had so many other presents that it was okay that he didn't get her anything. Levi liked the way that sounded in his head, so that's what he went with. He wanted to enjoy the rest of the party, and he wanted Ivy to as well, so he didn't mention anything about not getting her a present. Instead, he joined Ivy and her family and friends and continued to have a great day. After Ivy was done opening her presents, they had cake and played more party games as the afternoon turned into early evening. "I can't believe my party's all over," said Ivy to her parents as she waved goodbye to one of her friends as she left. "I know I said it before, but I really did have an amazing time. Thank you both for a great day." Ivy's parents gave her a big hug, and before starting to clean up, they all had one last family bounce in the bounce house. Ivy and Levi giggled together as they watched their parents jumping up and down. "Wow, I didn't think you could jump that high," laughed Levi, looking at his dad. "I didn't know I could either, and truthfully, I'm getting a little motion sick. I need to stop the hop right now," answered Levi's dad as he slowly crawled out of the bounce house and back onto solid ground. "I'm headed out too," said Levi and Ivy's mom as she hopped into the backyard. "Kind of hard to stop bouncing once you've been in that thing for a while." Ivy and Levi continued to bounce until their giggles turned into yawns, and they knew it was time to head inside.
Great birthday parties will make you super
Tired, yawned Ivy as she walked inside with her brother.
Then I think we're going to sleep for 2 days because your birthday party was
Awesome, said Levi. After helping their parents put away some food and take down a few decorations, they were told they should head upstairs and get ready for bed. So they did. "Happy birthday, Ivy," called out Levi to his sister as he walked into his room after brushing his teeth. "Thank you, Levi," Ivy called back as she crawled into her bed wearing her favorite snuggliest pajamas. She was ready to get a good night's sleep after having such a fun day. Meanwhile, in Levi's room, he was getting out his favorite pajamas too when he noticed something. It was a picture frame that was sitting on his dresser where he kept all his clothes. But more importantly, it was the birthday present he had gotten from Ivy at his last birthday. She painted the frame and covered it with stickers of all his favorite things. Then she put a picture of her and Levi inside from when they had gone on vacation to the beach. He really loved it. And that's when he realized, "Oh no, it does matter that I didn't get Ivy a birthday present," thought Levi to himself as he held the frame in his hands. "It doesn't matter if she got 1,000 other gifts today. She didn't get one from me. And it's not the gift. It's the thought behind it that shows you care." Levi sat on his bed holding the frame and thinking maybe Ivy was sitting in her bed, wondering why he hadn't given her a gift. Well, lucky for Levi, I suppose, Ivy was so tired from her party that she fell asleep as soon as her head touched the pillow. But yes, she had noticed that Levi hadn't given her a gift, but didn't say anything to him that day because everyone was having so much fun. Levi felt sad as he laid in his bed and drifted off to sleep. He put the frame Ivy had made for him on his bedside table and stared at it until he fell asleep. He knew the next day he had to make this right, so that's what he did. After a long day of birthday fun, Levi and Ivy both slept late, with Levi waking up just a few minutes before his sister. And as soon as his eyes opened, he started thinking of a gift he could get her. He looked around his room and thought maybe he could give her something he already had. "How about this truck so we can dig with it and build sandcastles at the beach?" thought Levi. "No, the wheel is always falling off. How about my old baseball glove so then we can play catch together?" "No, that would be too big for her. How about my mood ring that I got at the arcade?" "No, that won't work either because I've got one too." Levi was sitting on his bed looking pretty defeated when his dad walked by his door. "What's up, buddy? I thought you'd still be sleeping after that great party yesterday. You must have bounced for 2 hours in a row," said his dad as he stood in Levi's doorway. That's when Levi told his dad all about Ivy's birthday gift. Or lack of birthday gift, to be specific. "I feel terrible, Dad, and now I just want to give Ivy the best gift ever," said Levi before standing up from his bed. "No, not the best gift ever, but the best day ever." "Well, that's a very nice thought, Levi, and I'm glad that you see giving your sister a little something to show you care is the right thing to do on her birthday," said his dad, feeling proud of his son's decision. "I can help you. We just need to do a little snooping to find out what we need for Ivy's best day ever." And that's when they heard Ivy call for her mom. "Yes, honey, what is it?" she asked, running into her room. Did you have a bad dream? No, the total opposite, Mommy! Exclaimed Ivy with a look of pure joy on her face.
It was the best dream ever!
Levi looked at his dad and knew he had to hear all about this dream. That way he could figure out what to do for Ivy's best day ever gift. Levi and his dad quietly crept down the hallway and hid just outside of Ivy's room, listening closely to every word she said. "That's wonderful, Ivy. I can't wait to hear all about it," said Ivy's mom, getting comfy on her bed. "Well, it started off in Hawaii," began Ivy. "There were big buildings, taxi cars, and tons of people all around." Ivy, that doesn't really sound like Hawaii to me," said Ivy's mom. "Oh, you're right. My mistake. I was in New York City," giggled Ivy, still waking up. "And you were there with me at the American Girl store." "That sounds like so much fun," said Ivy's mom. "It was," exclaimed Ivy. "We started off the day by picking up my American Girl doll, and it looked just like me. I named her Katie, and the first thing we did was pick out matching outfits. I picked out the cutest pink shirt and jacket and a fun t-shirt to go underneath it. We were total twinsies." "Wow, you got your doll in your dream?" said Ivy's mom. "Hopefully that part will come true sooner than later." That's when Levi looked at his dad and asked if there was any way to get Ivy's doll that day. "There's a chance. I just have to call the store and see if it's in yet. I can't guarantee that it will be, but we can try," said Levi's dad as he ran off to give the store a call. Levi tried to stay positive, but he was really nervous that the doll wouldn't be ready in time. And if it wasn't, he wouldn't have any chance of creating Ivy's best day ever. As Levi continued to listen, he heard something else that he knew he needed his dad's help with. "What happened next, Ivy?" asked her mom, excited to hear more about Ivy's dream. "After we changed into our matching outfits, we were feeling a little hungry," said Ivy. "So we walked into the American Girl Cafe and sat down for lunch. But not just a regular lunch, a tea party lunch." "Oh, Ivy, this sounds so fun," said her mom. "And what tasty things did we eat?" Ivy went on to tell her mom about the silver tower trays filled with cookies, cakes, and the most delicious cinnamon rolls. There were tiny sandwiches and sweet, delicious fruit, and we can't forget the tea in the fanciest teacups I'd ever seen. Levi took all this new information and ran to tell his dad. Dad, whispered Levi. "While you're out picking up the doll, you also have to get supplies for the best tea party ever. And don't forget the food. We need little sandwiches, cookies, and cinnamon rolls." Levi's dad gave him a thumbs up as he continued to talk to someone at the store about Ivy's doll. "I think we're going to do it, Dad," Levi whispered with a big smile on his face. "I think we may actually be able to make Ivy's best day ever come to life right before her eyes. Now I gotta run back and listen to the rest of the dream so I don't leave out one detail." Levi disappeared around the corner as the planning for Ivy's best day ever continued. "And you'll never believe who was there," Levi heard Ivy say as he got back to his sister's bedroom door ready with some more crucial information for his big gift. "A magical dragon?" asked her mom. "No. How about an astronaut in a spaceship?" "Nope. I've got it now. A beautiful fairy or maybe a whole group of fairies." "No, Mommy," laughed Ivy. "I know it was a dream, so it could have been anyone or anything, but you know the people who were there very well. It was Mamaga, Titi, and cousin Stella. She brought her American Girl doll, Kayla, and we are all having the best time." After hearing that, Ivy's mom knew that her daughter was definitely having this dream because she had been thinking about and missing her new doll and Stella the day of her birthday party. After hearing this new piece of information, Levi had to run back to his dad before he left the house. And it was a good thing he ran as fast as he did because he caught his dad just before he was heading out the door. Dad! Called out Levi, trying to whisper, but getting a little too loud. "Levi, shh! I don't want Ivy and your mom to hear me leaving," said Levi's dad. "They would ask where I'm going, and that would ruin the whole surprise." "Sorry, Dad, but I have some new information that definitely needs to be part of our big surprise," whispered Levi. "It turns out that cousin Stella was in Ivy's dream." "Well, I don't think I'm going to find her at the store," laughed Levi's dad. "Well, no, but you could call Titi and see if Stella could come over today," replied Levi. "That's a much better idea," said Levi's dad. "I'll give your aunt a call when I get to the store. It looks like Ivy's doll could be arriving right now, but the person I talked to told me that's only if everything goes perfectly with the delivery. That means no delays or traffic jams. So let me head over there so I can get back as soon as possible. I'll keep my fingers crossed that you have Ivy's doll with you and that Stella can make it over too, said Levi. And if it's not too much to ask, could you tell TT to stay for a bit and ask her to bring Mamaga? It turns out they were all in Ivy's dream. Wow, said Levi's dad, feeling like he was putting together a whole other birthday party, but only had a couple of hours to do it. I'll do my best, buddy. Levi's dad headed out the door as Levi ran back to keep listening in on Ivy's dream. What happened next in this amazing dream? Asked Ivy's mom as Levi got back to his sister's bedroom. You mean my best day ever dream? Giggled Ivy. Next, Katie and I and Stella and her doll Kayla went to the American Girl Salon. It was so pretty there and everyone was so nice. They asked what we wanted to do with our hair and if we wanted it to look like Katie. And I looked at this big book of all these kinds of braids and hairstyles. Did you end up going with something totally different, like a neon green mohawk or pink and blue purple streaks with pom-pom hair clips? Asked Ivy's mom. Ivy couldn't help but laugh, picturing what she and her doll Katie would look like with either of those hairstyles. No, Mommy, we both got these really cute braids in the shape of a big heart, answered Ivy, looking more and more excited as she talked about her dream. Once Ivy and Katie were all set in the salon chair, Stella and her doll Kayla were ready to go. They each got a bunch of mini braids tied with little ribbons in all different colors. Hearing all of this salon talk, Levi started to get worried. There's no way Dad or I can make mini braids tied with little ribbons or a design in someone's hair, thought Levi. And Dad already left, so I can't ask him to bring home a hairstylist. That's when Levi had the idea that he could ask the only other person in the house who he knew could do hair to help him out, his mom. He would just have to wait to ask her until after his plan all came together and hoped she would agree to help. He had a pretty good feeling that she would, and so he went back to gathering more information for his big gift. After we got our hair done, there was only one other thing to do at the salon, said Ivy to her mom with a little smirk. Get your nails done? Answered her mom. That's right, said Ivy. I got smiley faces on my nails and Katie got the tiniest purple polka dots. This dream just keeps getting better and better, said Ivy's mom. I can't wait to hear what you did next. Ivy then went on to tell her mom about the fun day she and Stella and their American Girl dolls had in New York City. At that point in the dream, Ivy's mom went along with Stella and Ivy, but Ivy's aunt and grandma stayed behind at the American Girl store. Meanwhile, Ivy's mom, Stella, and their dolls started their trip through New York by taking a horse-drawn carriage ride through Central Park. After that, they all went to the top of the Empire State Building and then took a boat ride to the Statue of Liberty. Levi once again was at a loss for how he was going to make these very memorable parts of Ivy's dream come to life. That's when he got creative. He was great at building things and loved to draw, so if he couldn't bring his sister to New York City, he would bring New York City to his sister. He would have a lot of work to do, but it would be all worth it if he could make Ivy's best day ever a reality. Wow, you must have been tired after all the sightseeing, said Ivy's mom. We definitely were, so we headed to our very special hotel, said Ivy. And when we walked into our room, we found out that it wasn't a room for just us. There were special beds and pajamas waiting for our American girls, too. There were also new pajamas for you, me, and Stella. They were so soft and comfy. How fun is that? Said Ivy's mom. So we all changed into our comfy new pajamas and ordered some room service, said Ivy. After all, having that much fun can make you very, very hungry. After hearing that, Levi thought he was going to have to whip up some big menu of food for the next part of Ivy's dream. But what he heard next brought him a big sigh of relief. When we called down to the front desk to order our food, we asked if they could get us exactly what we had for lunch at the American Girl store because it was so good, said Ivy. They said that it was no problem at all. Then no sooner did we hang up the phone when we heard a knock on our hotel door and the food, it was amazing. Levi realized as he continued to listen that he would need to make sure Stella was able to sleep over. But he would have to deal with that later. Ivy's dream seemed to be wrapping up because Levi could see her excitement was fading a bit and now she looked a little sad. What's wrong, Ivy? Asked her mom. No more fun dream details to share? Pretty much, said Ivy as she started to tell her mom the last few minutes of her dream. After we ate, Stella and I jumped on our beds with our dolls, we had a pillow fight, and we even made a wish on a star as we looked out the hotel room's huge picture window over New York City. I, of course, wished I could have a day like that every day. But I know now that it will never happen. Ivy sounded so sad, and it only made Levi want to make sure he didn't miss this one little detail when putting together his sister's best day ever. Stella and I started feeling really sleepy, so we decided it was time to go to bed, said Ivy. And where was I when all of this jumping on beds and pillow fights was going on? Giggled Ivy's mom. Somehow you managed to sleep through it all, laughed Ivy. So Stella tucked Kayla into her special bed, and I did the same for Katie. And when I went to kiss her goodnight, I woke up. A tear rolled down Ivy's cheek as she remembered the feeling of her best day ever, dream ending. But then she quickly wiped that tear away as she remembered why she was crying. Are you okay, Ivy? Asked her mom, giving her daughter a big hug. Yes, Mommy, I'm crying because I missed my dream. It was really the best day ever, said Ivy. But I have to smile too because at least I got to experience it. It was really so much fun. I just wish dreams could come true. Why do you wish that? Asked her mom. Because dreams are magical, said Ivy. The things that happen in dreams could never happen in real life. Oh no, Ivy. Magic can happen in real life too. Just trust me, began Ivy's mom. If you dream it, you can make it happen. Levi heard his mom's words and knew he had a lot to do in a short amount of time, and it had to be perfect. After all, it was for his sister. Ivy smiled at her mom, hopeful that what she had said was true, and that dreams really can come true. Ivy's mom then suggested that they get their day started and see if anything magical happens. So they walked downstairs together to get some breakfast. As they were making food, Ivy's mom called for her dad and Levi to join them. Levi heard his mom calling and quickly ran into the kitchen from the playroom. Hi, Mom. Hi, Ivy. Dad had to run out for something, and I'm working on, well, something, so we won't be around for breakfast, said Levi, trying not to look or sound suspicious and failing. But just so you know, I think lunch is going to be pretty amazing, so we'll see you then. Also, I put a do not disturb sign on the playroom door, so just keep out, okay? Okay, I guess, said Ivy and her mom. Trust me, it'll all be worth it, said Levi with a smile as he ran off to finish his work. After a little while, Levi and Ivy's dad walked through the front door and asked if anyone had seen Levi. He was holding a few big bags in his hand and did his best to hide them from view. He's in the playroom and he's being a bit suspicious. Just like you, come to think of it, said Ivy and Levi's mom. Oh, don't you worry about how we're acting, said Levi's dad with a laugh. It'll all be worth it around lunchtime. Yeah, Levi already told us, said Ivy, getting a little more excited about what the big surprise could be. She and her mom decided to give Levi and his dad their space to create whatever they were working on and busied themselves elsewhere around the house. Time passed and Ivy and her mom put away more party decorations and cleaned up more things left behind outside after the party the day before. Then as they started to feel hungry for lunch, Levi found them in the backyard. Thank you for being patient with us, said Levi. I'd now like to ask that you both follow me to the playroom. I think you're going to be really happy with what's in there, especially you, Ivy. At this point, Ivy thought that maybe her brother did finally get her something for her birthday, since he didn't give her anything the day before. But she could never imagine what was waiting behind the playroom door when she opened it. Ready, Dad? Levi shouted through the closed door when he reached the playroom with his mom and sister. Absolutely. Come on in, called back Levi's dad. Ivy, I'm sorry I didn't give you a birthday present yesterday, said Levi. You're always so thoughtful and kind with the gifts you give me. I just hope you can see past it being a day late and enjoy your best day ever. As Levi said this, he opened the door to the playroom, revealing to his mom and Ivy what he and his dad had been working on all morning. Oh my goodness, shouted Ivy. This looks just like my dream. How did you know? How did you know, Levi? I was listening to you tell Mom all about it this morning when you got up, began Levi. I listened to every detail and Dad helped me make your dream come to life. It's like magic, whispered Ivy to her mom. You were right. Dreams do come true. Ivy walked further into the playroom and looked at everything Levi and her dad had done. There was a huge picture on the wall that looked just like New York City with tall skyscrapers and cars and people everywhere that Levi drew. He also used his blocks to make some more buildings and scattered his big trucks and cars all around to make it look more like a real city. Come take a seat, Ivy, said Levi as he directed her to the most beautiful decorated table filled with all the things from her dream tea party. And if you look out of the cafe window, you'll see Central Park, the Statue of Liberty, and the Empire State Building, just like in your dream. Wow, you thought of every detail, Levi, said Ivy. I can't thank you enough. It's like I'm right back in my dream. Like I'm sitting in the American Girl Cafe in New York City with their delicious cinnamon buns, tasty tea, and... What, Ivy? Is there something missing? Said Levi with a little smirk on his face. He knew exactly what Ivy was thinking about. Her new doll. No, everything is great, Levi. It's just, in my dream, I had my brand new American Girl doll, Katie, with me. But I know there's no way you could get her here today. Mom and Dad already ordered her, and she's just taking a little while to get here, said Ivy. But remember, Levi said with a smile, dreams do come true if you believe in them. Then he stepped to the side to show Ivy, who was sitting at the head of the tea party table waiting for her. Katie! Shouted Ivy as she ran over and picked up her new doll. She's absolutely perfect! You're the best brother ever, and this is without a doubt the best day ever! I couldn't be happier to hear that, Ivy, said Levi, giving his sister a hug. Happy birthday, and I promise not to forget your gift ever again. And speaking of gifts, there's a lot more to this. Levi poured Ivy tea as she sat down with Katie. He gave her a cinnamon roll and then showed her a few different outfit choices for her new doll. Then Levi pulled his mom aside and asked her a question before telling Ivy that she and her doll would be getting their hair and nails done too. Just like in my dream, said Ivy, not believing all the great stuff that Levi had planned. Levi and Ivy's mom had just agreed to be the hairstylist and nail tech for the day and couldn't have been happier to help. But what Ivy didn't know was she had a few special guests that would be joining her. How could this day get any better? Asked Ivy as she enjoyed her cinnamon roll with her new American Girl doll, and in just a second, she would get her answer. The doorbell rang and Levi rushed out of the room. When he came back in, he had the last part of Ivy's best day ever surprise with him. No way! Exclaimed Ivy as she turned around to see her cousin Stella walking into the playroom. Ivy, I'm so happy to see you! Exclaimed Stella. Happy late birthday! I'm sorry I couldn't be here yesterday, but I'm here now with my American Girl doll, Kayla, and guess what? We're having a sleepover tonight! Ivy was so overwhelmed by the awesome news that she had almost forgot to say hello to her Titi and her mamaga, who had driven Stella over. She hugged them all and thanked Levi and her mom and dad once again. Then she ran over to her tea party and showed Stella everything Levi had created for her. As they ate their little sandwiches and tasty cookies, Ivy told Stella all about her dream and all the wonderful things they would get to do together at the sleepover. We're so proud of you, Levi, said his mom as Levi watched on. He was so happy that his big birthday surprise worked out like it did. Yeah, great job, buddy, said his dad. Then they all watched as Ivy's dream became a reality, and her best day ever magically came to life right before her eyes. Thanks for joining us today. We hope you enjoyed the story and learned a little something too.
And since we know everyone has their own story, we'd love to hear yours.
If you have an idea for a Lively Lewis story, leave a comment on our Apple Podcast review page with 5 stars, your idea, and your little one's name.
Then maybe our next adventure will be with you.
Until our next Storytime Hangout.
Thanks for listening. We can't wait to share another fun, Lively Lewis story with you.
This is an iHeart podcast.